when you said the Constitutional Review Commission said we should not recognize the rise of gayism and homosexualism, actually that is different from what is prevailing at this point, in which people are now going to legislate certain morals and values into our private lives. That's number one. The second aspect also is that we should not lose sight of the fact that the group with Abutu Ampao and Professor Techua Mendu and the rest who are advocating against the bill are in no way saying that they are supporters of lesbianism and gayism. That is one thing Ghanaians must understand. It doesn't mean that they will go and tell their kids that they should convert from heterosexual relationships into gayism and lesbianism. No. They are rather saying that the route you are taking is a wrong route. The third point is that if you look at the tenor of the bill, you don't need anyone to tell you that it won't meet a constitutional test going forward. And I will elaborate briefly on this. That when you get a law in which adverbs and other descriptive words are used to qualify nouns and verbs, right? It tells you there's something wrong. So the use of the word proper in the name of the law, if it becomes law after all, in itself should tell you that there's something wrong. What is proper in this world? When libertarians of Stuart Mills and other scholars have over the years established that going into people's private affairs in that nature is not the right thing to do, insofar as that doesn't impinge on the public values of the citizenry, you don't go into that private sphere. I am firmly convinced that we can't say that homosexualism and its related activities is a human right. I won't accept that. However, I will also not accept a situation in which you can also say that I'm legislating to actually antagonize, not just antagonize, in fact, infringe the rights of certain individuals who have certain orientations. That way, it will be unconstitutional, and it will be so overbroad to the extent that you are now telling us that these are the proper values of our humanity. That way, you are mistaken, and I think that is where the problem is in respect of the bill. So, in sum, what I'm saying is this: that we should not misconstrue those who are against the current bill as persons who are into lesbianism and gayism. Secondly, we should not think that when we are against the practice of lesbianism, it means that we are infringing on individual rights. That is not the issue. But what infringes on the right of those persons is that you are now saying that they cannot decide to live their private lives if it doesn't come into the public sphere in any way. If someone speaks by being, I would say, liberal in saying that you can't maltreat this person, then that person is also committing a crime. That is way out of order. And in that way, I think that the law, even if it's passed in its current state, will not be able to suffice and satisfy the threshold of constitutionalism when it goes to the Supreme Court of Ghana. So let's actually be moderate in terms of how we castigate each other for taking certain entrenched positions. There's nothing proper in this kind of discourse to say that proper sexuality and human values. No, it is not. And as you have followed our cultural disposition over the years, you realize that things have changed. You have read cases in which in the past it was only females who were banished in the Provo land and which were Retano and the Koshiakoko and the rest, those kind of cases. And the courts could do nothing, as if those who were actually committing or impregnating young adolescent children or women are only the females themselves. No, but it was being done by the men. But it was only the females who were being punished. So over a period of time, we have transitioned from such strict ways of interpreting cultural values into a more liberal forms of it, so that it can be consistent with democratic values that we have decided to absorb. So we should be careful in thinking that we can legislate into other people's private lives. That way, they are human beings, and you are taking away certain things that they want to keep private into the public sphere. And that is wrong in terms of what the law is seeking to do.